And just an update, Spain has put the ball in the back of the net again, but it is not going to count. We are going to keep you up to date with the World Cup. But now it's time for our regular health checkup.
Many of us assume that once we have private health insurance, we are automatically covered for ambulance costs, but that's not always the case. It's just one of the common misconceptions that our health check regular Dr. Linny Huang has been looking into us this morning, for us. I'm very distracted by the World Cup final. I apologise. You're going to talk to us about testosterone, vaping, ambulance cover, and you're telling us that all of these topics have something in common.
Well, yes, they are very different topics, but I think the things that put them together are essentially the fact that this information around any of these topics, whether it's testosterone claims or the safety of vaping, is accessible online. And I guess, you know, in this instance, it's great that people are looking for information, but often it finds you. And I think it's really about the fact that when you are being exposed to these health messages, often they're 30-second reels and they're really sort of sharp, snappy headlines, and you unfortunately might make the wrong decisions based on these. So I think today is really about trying to bring some of those messages home and looking at those nuances a bit more.
So vaping is not just water vapour, right? We should put that out there straight away.
Absolutely. So, you know, there is this saying that it is just water vapour. It's not, you know, a vape is actually a chemical cocktail of nicotine, solvents, flavourings and toxic byproducts. There's over 200 different ingredients within a vape, and we know that within one disposable vape it can actually contain the same amount of nicotine as 20 cigarettes or more. We also know, therefore, that it can be quite addictive. We know that in teens, that if they are to vape, that there is a really high likelihood that they end up smoking. And then obviously, because of the nicotine content, we know that there are effects on blood pressure, cardiovascular effects, and then there's, you know, obviously the long-term effects, which we're still waiting to see.
But the irony is that a lot of people started vaping to stop smoking.
Exactly, that's right. And so there's a little sort of subtlety there, because there are therapeutic vapes, which are slightly different, and they are kind of a last-line resort for people who are trying to come off nicotine.
Yeah.
But they are very different to commercially sold disposable vapes.
Testosterone. If you're a man, you'll have been subjected to these advertisements,
all over
to these
your
suggestions.
algorithms?
Well, not all over, but there's this. It's often spruiked as a cure-all to all your things.
That's
I mean, they're preying on male insecurity here, right?
Well, yes, yeah, they are. So essentially, they are touted as the fix for things like low motivation, low sex drive, and even just general tiredness. The thing that we know about testosterone, and you know,
we're just showing
the US military, because they're actually looking at a testing program.
Well, that's right, exactly. And I think this is where we need to be really careful. So we know that testosterone is produced endogenously, so in the body. We know that the peak levels are in young adulthood, and they actually stay, like they gradually decline, but they stay stable for most healthy men, and they don't require supplementation for most men. Like, when we talk about low testosterone, that is a really low incidence thing, and it's, you know, a lot lower and less common than the social reels and the algorithms and perhaps the US headlines are giving way to. The other thing is that testosterone, when we talk about testing, and this is the thing that's not being said, is that every day a male's testosterone will dip. And so if you take testosterone at the wrong, you know, if you take a level at the wrong time during the day, then you're going to get a randomly low level, which may not mean anything. And so we often will repeat the level and will correlate with symptoms. And then there are side effects. So side effects of testosterone, you know, you can have mood changes, there can be effects on fertility, so it actually lowers fertility, and it can cause high blood counts, which can lead to strokes, heart attacks, and, you know, and the rest.
So if you're considering doing something stupid like that, go and see your doctor first.
Have a chat to your doctor and get properly diagnosed and then monitored. Exactly.
Get medical advice. Linny, thank you very much. We love your work.
Thank you so
let's
much,
head to Charles now for some sport.